guys, back again. Matt and we are here with another home improvement project. This time we are talking about cabinetry. And do you guys know what these are? Because I didn't. These are shims. What are these used for?
You basically use those to bring your countertops up and level them out. You want to find the highest spot on your kitchen floor and start measuring from there, and then you're going to need to put all your cabinets up to that height so everything stays level. So the shims are just used to space the cabinets up from the floor, get them all the same height and level, and then away from the wall as well so that everything stays square.
That makes a lot of sense. And what are some key things people need to keep in mind when they're like thinking about cabinetry?
You know, I guess planning is always key. You got to figure out what you want and spend the time that it takes, you know, to do it right. As you can see, we've got, you know, our plans here for this kitchen. Everything has been pre-designed and everything just goes together so much more smoothly that way. We put our upper cabinets in first. We actually put a ledger board that was level all the way along the bottom of where those went, just to help us when we were installing them. You can just set them up on the ledger board, get them adjusted left and right, and then put your screws in. And then we measured down. There's enough room for an 18-inch backsplash, 1.5 inch countertop. We're gonna go in with butcher block countertop, and then these are set to be right below that height. So. Awesome.
And you did talk earlier about understanding your space to use it wisely and making sure you have enough countertops and also enough cabinetry to cover your space. And
sure,
I thought
absolutely.
That was very super enlightening because a lot of people don't take that into consideration. So on this project, what's next?
You know, we just finished shimming this one up to height. So what we'd want to do is just check and make sure that we're level from front to back and left and right. We also want to make sure that, you know, the last one in line, that everything's all level. It should hit both ends and in the middle. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna align the face so that it's flush across the front. And I'm gonna put a couple of clamps on here to hold them together while I put some screws in there. And then I've got a tapered drill bit with a countersink that I'll use to drill my holes. If you don't pre-drill your holes, it tends to split the face of your countertop. So you really want to make sure that that's done right. So we just get him right in the middle here and then we drive our screws with an impact driver. They've got a lot of torque and they can really pull these faces together. And then we just make sure that everything is nice and tight and flush. Continue on down. Try to put about 3 screws in between each one of these 3-footers. And I like to only drill and screw one at a time because if the screw kicks it off just a little bit, your next screw hole won't line up. And then since this is part of an island or a peninsula, we will be running some screws around the backside at a later point to screw it into the subfloor. Another method that you can use is to calculate where the inside of this outer face will be and lay a strip of wood along the floor, tack it to your subfloor, and then you can screw the cabinet into that from the outside. But that's basically all there is to it. Remove our clamps, and that's it.
Okay, Matt, so some important takeaways are to always use some shims to make sure everything is level.
That's correct.
Also, pre-drill, because you don't want to start drilling and messing everything up.
Right, you don't want to split the wood on the front of the cabinets.
Yeah, that would be awful.
Sure.
Absolutely. So thank you so much. It was such a pleasure.
You bet, it was my pleasure.
Oh, my pleasure. And you guys need to stay tuned for our next project.